Hello and welcome to All the Boards and a brand new week. Here we are post Christmas, just a day away from a whole new year, 2025. It's amazing to think that it's crept up on us like this. It only feels moments ago that we were back in sort of October, September, even thinking remotely about Christmas itself. But here we are, and what an episode we have got for you today. First part, we're going to discuss our top five games of 2024, and then we're going to discuss some of the new events coming up from January onwards, which are available to book. The spaces have been booked for these, so do make sure that you get in touch with us to make sure that you get involved. So, before we really kick off, I just want to take a moment to say thank you to everyone involved in the shop, whether that's as a customer coming in and buying games, as part of our in-store community, coming along for D&D, RPG nights, board game nights, coming in over the weekend, supporting our stuff online, sharing our socials. Whatever it is, everything, all the support really means the world to the shop, especially as we're now coming up to year 5 as well, which is an incredible feat, and we couldn't have done that without all of you. So at this time of the year, I just want to say a massive thank you to each and every single one of you that has contributed in some way to the success of the shop. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I'm looking forward to a further 5 years with you all at the very, very least. So, our top 5 games of the year. So, I've been around the shop and just taken a look at games that I've played a lot of and that I just really enjoy. Really tough act to pull together because there are just so many games, but I just had to take a look at what did I play the most of and what do I enjoy the most. So in no particular order, except for our game of the year, we're going to start with Quacks of Quedlinburg, The Duel. So this is a 2-player version of the original Quacks of Quedlinburg, a bag building game where you're crafting potions, using those potions to then collect more ingredients so that you can craft bigger and better potions as you progress through the game. This shares a very similar concept, however, they do change the way in which the potions are crafted, as well as the main objective of the game, where you're trying to attract the sickly villagers to your stall so you can sell them your medicine instead of your opponent's medicine. So the more popular your potions are, the more popular, the more likely that sickly villager is going to come towards you. Like the original, you have a variety of different potions, and each kind of potion has different abilities, as well as different spell books as well, so you can sort of change up what that item does. But really good fun. Really enjoyed this as a 2-player experience. I've played Quacks of Quedlinburg 2-player a lot, and having played that a lot and this a lot, you get a similar experience, but they have done enough to change the gaming experience in this game. So you're not just playing a 2-player carbon copy of the original, you are playing something that is different enough, but still has that familiarity that you probably know 90% of the game if you've played the original. Next is Loot. So this is a wonderful, light sort of family weight Euro game where you are in control of a clan of Vikings and you're sending your Vikings out to raid the mainland and bring back those goods to your islands so that you can build up your various buildings, as well as fill your longships up with goods to help score you extra points. The premise is very simple enough. It's sort of got a light worker placement ethos to it. You have to place your Viking somewhere next to another Viking, so you kind of create these chains, or more appropriately as the game goes on, this web of connected Vikings. And then there's a whole variety of different resources. There's also buildings that you can capture as well. Those get added to your own game board. Really, really good fun. It sets up within minutes, and the rule book will have you playing within minutes as well. Said it doesn't bog you down with a lot of rules. It's very colourful, it's very clear, and it scales itself well for 2 to 4 players. So if you're playing a 2-player game, you're going to have less boards on the table, ensuring that the length of the game scales well for the amount of players that are in it. As I said, very colourful. I love Vikings. Who doesn't love Vikings? And said, just a very accessible game, and one that I've brought to the table again and again and again and again. And for that reason alone, it just has to sit there in the top 5 for me. Then next we have got Ratjack. So if it were not for another game on this list, this might have ended up being my game of the year. Ratjack is a wonderful little card game based on blackjack or 21 pontoon, whatever you want to call it. In this, you'd be the first one to get to 25 or use your abilities on your cards to try and knock out your opponents. If you manage to knock out your opponents by making them go bust, then you can collect a victory point. And then if you're able to get to 25 yourself, you also get a victory point. First player to 3 victory points wins the game. Then you can just shuffle up, play again, and go again after that. It has 4 decks in here, 2 identical ones that are your starter decks, and then 2 advanced ones that you can swap in and out with one or both of the starter decks. You also have some awesome little poker chips in there that act as different abilities, so acting as like multipliers, acting as like shields, so you can protect your cards, you can affect the value of cards, and so on and so forth. But just a very, very compulsive game. There was only a few weeks ago where we must have played this for about an hour and a half, just constantly, just like that, just game after game after game. So just very compelling, just really, really enjoyable. Plus, we enjoyed trying to switch it up with the different decks and play around with the decks in a variety of different ways. Really good fun. And the other thing I like with this is that because it has that bridge to classic traditional card games, if you know someone that's really into those games but they don't really play a lot of contemporary board games, then this is the kind of thing that will create that bridge for you. And that's something that I always love with contemporary board games, is being able to build that bridge for people that may not necessarily be playing a lot of contemporary board games to something that they are already familiar with. So if you know someone that loves their trick-taking games, then Ratjack is going to be the one that you're going to want to play with them to show them how awesome trick-taking can be in a contemporary setting. Then next we have got King of Tokyo Duels. This is another 2-player game based on a popular franchise. So King of Tokyo sells like hotcakes here. It's one of our best-selling games. Every time a new edition comes out, whether that's an expansion pack, King of Tokyo Origins, King of Monster Island, most recently King of Tokyo Duel, they just always sell and sell fast. And it's just the pure love of the game, really, the accessibility, the sort of fun that you can have, just monsters smashing against each other across the skylines of Tokyo. In this one, what they have done is they have taken that concept where that Yahtzee concept, as I like to call it, where you're rolling dice, you're trying to collect sets for a variety of different things, and applied it in a brand new way. So a bit like some of the others, if you've played any of the King of series, then you're going to know a good amount of the rules for this, mostly with the dice and with the power cards. However, what they've created is this awesome board here with these 2 tokens. You've got Destruction and you've got Fame. And these will basically seesawing back between you and your opponent as you're trying to leverage them into your area. If you get either one into your end zone, you win the game. If you manage to get both into your spotlight zone, that's also another way to win the game. it can be played very, very quickly, or it can take a little bit longer. It doesn't normally take more than about half hour or so, but I've had games of this where just through the luck of the dice, you're able to go, right, cool, I'll bring that down within a few turns I've won. Other ones, a bit more protracted, a little bit more attrition, back and forth going on there, but allowing for some more interactivity. And what I do like with this as well is that as much as I love the original King of Tokyo, it wasn't very dynamic as a two-player game. You're in Tokyo, smash. Okay, cool. You've come out. I'm in Tokyo, smash. Oh no, I'm going to come out of Tokyo. It was very much a backward and forth kind of game with not a lot of flair, which kind of deflated the experience for such an awesome game that plays well with sort of 4, 5, 6 players. You're sort of in that sweet spot. It is a game for a lot of people. However, this has managed to answer that question for 2 players, and what an answer that they've come up with. Said just absolutely amazing. They've taken the concept and flipped it on its head to give you a brand new experience for King of Tokyo. So if you've not played it, do come on down and try it out. If you want to take a copy home, we are currently sold out, but we will be getting more in the new year, so do keep an eye out for that. That's King of Tokyo Duel. And finally, this year's Game of the Year for me is Middle Ages. Now, this game hasn't been out for too long, but I did get to play it at UK Games Expo. We got to kind of spy it at London Toy Fair way back in January 2024 as well. So it's long been on my radar, and since we've had it, I've just been playing this non-stop, and I'll play it right now if I could. So in this, you've got this beautiful tile laying game where you are collecting different tiles and adding them to your kingdom, and then those will score you points in a variety of different ways, as well as give you sort of one-time bonuses each time that you select it. So firstly, for a lot of people looking at this, yes, the setup looks similar to things like King Domino, and I would say that if you play this, then having played something like King Domino or Carcassonne is going to give you a lot of context for this game. As you move through the rounds, you select different tiles and then reserve your tile for the next round, and then you add your chosen tile to your game board. Said there's 8 different spaces, 8 different estates that you can have for your fiefdom, and then as you collect those, they each do different things, and then that kind of like multiplies and exaggerates as you play through the game, creating a kind of like engine building aspect to it as well. And if you get really lucky, you can really create some nice chains, especially if you're able to go really hard in on 1 or 2 of the estates, maybe just through luck of positioning, but it just presents so many opportunities for your strategy. No 2 games will ever be the same. It's colourful, it's clear. I like the way that they've presented it as well. So each estate has its own line. You could have just had it where you place it somewhere on the board, and then you have to then sort of count out where everything is, which obviously happens with a lot of tile laying games. But they've gone for this really nice approach where all of the estate of this type goes here, here, in one line. So you're building upwards as you go through, making it easier to kind of count what you've got in that line for bonuses, for your coins, etc. So just an absolutely marvellous game. If you've played, as I said, King Domino or Carcassonne, then I thoroughly recommend Middle Ages as your next purchase, your next gaming experience. Just absolutely love it. I really said that I love engine building, I love drafting. This is ticking both of those boxes for me. It's colourful, it's clear, the artwork is absolutely stunning on the game. There's not a single negative thing that I can say about this. It scales well for 2 to 5 players as well. In my mind, perhaps one of the most perfect games that I've played in a long time. And yeah, I can just sing praises about it for the rest of the video. But that is why this Middle Ages is my game of the year for 2024. Now, all of these are generally available in the shop, with the exception of King of Tokyo and Ratjack. They are out, but we'll be getting those back in. So if you did like the look of any of those, we do have them in stock. We also have all of these available to play in the games room as well, in the boardroom. So if you like the sound of it, you want to check out why I love these games, why I've rated them so highly, come on down. It's £3 per person for a 3-hour session, and you can book that through our website. And give them a go and let me know what you think. Does Middle Ages deserve to be game of the year? Is it your game of the year? Let me know. I'd love to hear about your gaming experiences as well. So next, on to our event schedule. So 2024 has proven to be a very stable year events-wise for us. We've got everything kind of where we want, except for some days where we've kind of been flitting back and forth, trying a variety of different things, just seeing what fits. So for 2025, we're going to return to a monthly schedule, something we tried before that had a good amount of success, but we're going to go back to that and give that a go. So starting in January, so this is from this coming weekend, we have got a rotating schedule of 4 different events. So on the first Sunday of each month, we will be running our painting club again. That's £3 per person between 11 and 4 p.m. This is just a afternoon, a day where you can sit down, relax, you can build those miniatures projects, you can get your sort of painting projects done. Maybe you've got a regiment that needs to be finished, you've got a new army to start, you've got something for Christmas or your birthday. It's also a great place to just socialise with other like-minded people, share sort of tips and techniques in regards to painting and miniature hobbies as well. So we ran it previously, and it started off with a lot of success, so we're hoping to emulate that once again, but it does require, as always, as with any event, does require your participation. So if you're looking for somewhere to just relax and have some fun, maybe meet some people and get some painting done, the 1st of every month, so that's the 5th of January and the 2nd of February, and then onwards, that is 11 till 4 p.m, the painting club. Following on from that, we are going to be hosting a monthly Blood on the Clock Tower. That will be the 2nd Sunday of every month. So we've got our first 2 up here, the 12th of January and the 9th of February. Again, £3 per person, starting at 11, finishing at 4. Meaning we can run 1 or 2 games depending on the amount of people that are available. We've got 16 spaces for this. Generally found that 16 is a good number for these games. Based on the success of these, we will buy our own grimoire for Blood on the Clock Tower. So we'd have one that is available for anyone if they would like to be storyteller. But that is in the near future. Again, based on the success of the events, we will move on to getting our own grimoire. Then the 3rd Sunday of every month, this is something we've been running for the latter half of 2024, is the Lorcana Winner Box Set Championship, depending where we are in the year, in the season. £20 per person, and the everyone gets at least 1 pack, and if you do come out tops, then you get a booster box for your troubles. And then finally, the 4th Sunday of every month, we've got an RPG day. So our first one, the 26th of January and the 23rd of February for our second one. This is £3 per person and will be split up amongst a variety of tables. So we've got a table for Pathfinder Society. This is a sort of community-run Pathfinder event where you come along once a month, play some games, or play a game, play an encounter, and then that actually contributes towards the sort of storyline presented through Pathfinder Society. We've already got one person stepping up as a games master. If it proves popular, we need more, we will put a shout out. We're also running a D&D arena as part of it. This will just be a variety of different multiplayer free-for-all games where we'll be pitting players versus players. We ran a few of these before, absolutely loved them. We had so much fun with them that we're looking to again do these on a monthly schedule. So if you'd like to help host one of these, it's not a typical session where we need a DM and they can't play. The DM is just the arbiter for the rules, and we'll just keep track of whose turn it is. It's just pure combat. And make sure that everyone knows where they are in the turn cycle, as well as operate the things like the traps and stuff whenever people go over them, the shrines for rewards and things like that. And then finally, the last table on the 26th of January and onwards for RPG Day is run by me, and I will be running a series of one-shot wonders for new players. So each month, I will prepare an encounter from One Shot Wonders and other sources. We'll play through those. As I said, this is specifically designed for new players. So if you know someone that's looking to get into D&D, do let me know. I've got 4 spaces for the first, or for them. The first one, I've already got 2 booked in. So if you are thinking about joining me for my table, you're a new player, do let us know as soon as possible. And then, as I said, we've got February's up as well. So this will be the schedule that we will be running. As I said, you can book either by calling us, emailing, or popping into the shop. We can book you in for whichever of the monthly events you are interested in. So that about wraps up everything for this video. Again, just a massive thank you to everyone for all your support this year, especially in the run-up to Christmas. Couldn't have done it without all of you, and said we're looking forward to what 2025 brings. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart, and as always, we'll see you in the boardroom.